everyone, it's Desiree. I hope you are all doing awesome, as always. And for those of you who are new, welcome. Yep, we have another pop-up. Yep, I was in a popping up mood, which is awesome. Because it's really not in my comfort zone. So thank you, Sabrina, for getting me out of my comfort zone. Absolutely. So for this one, this is going to be a home decor piece, but it doesn't have to. So I've given it an option. So it's going to be kind of like bookends. Yes. I am using the Tulip and Daffodil 5-layer stencil, the Assorted Tropical Leaves die. Yes, and there's a reason. The Beach Essentials die set. Yeah, reason for that too. The Egg Carton Chicks. Of course, I had to use the one that's upside down. I'm not quite sure what's up with me and animals' bums. Not quite sure, but I think it's adorable. And A7 Decorative PopUp Box Die. Now, that is an oldie but a goodie. That's kind of like, I believe it's one of the first ones that she created when it came to her pop-ups. So let's start with the stencils. I've grabbed my dye inks, my brush blenders, and we are just going to go to town. This is a great stencil set. You've got 5 layers and you're creating 2 separate images that will be fussy cut by me. Yeah, I know, fussy cut. But they are great images. Again, one of daffodils, the other one is of tulips, so you can really have fun with your colors. The detail is absolutely phenomenal. Now, when it comes to the leaves, this stencil is detailed, so you want to know which way the stencil is going so that you can, especially the first layer, you've got these fine details coming down that really aren't connected to too much. They'll bend, they'll shift. So make sure that you're taking whatever you're using to add your ink along down that point, and then it won't shift. I hope that made sense. Here, I'm just had fun adding the different shades of yellow and pinks. And even for the tulips, there's so many layers going on here that I added a deep red to get that final layer to this. Your last stencil, the last one, has the further details for your image. So for your daffodils, it has the tube from the daffodil that comes out, and also the true center, or the final center of, or the 2 more layers, I'm sorry, of the tulip. So here's the first, and then you'll have the last center point that comes in. So beautiful images once you're all done. Absolutely gorgeous. And for me, when I clean my stencils, I just use alcohol when it comes to the dye inks. So here's all of the pieces. So showed you the coloring this time with the stencil. I know, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. I know, show the coloring. I get it. I'm going to work on the panels first. So I pulled a couple pieces from her paper pad from the Bunny collection here. And I used the die from the pop-up to cut the craft cardstock. Measured that, and then decided what size I wanted to cut my pattern paper. So I wanted this frame that went around the pattern paper. Do you have to do that? No, you can just use the die directly to the pattern paper. Boom, you're done. You can see I chose one with carrots, and then the other one with the daffodils and the tulips, just to give a little bit of difference. I am going to use the Happy Easter sentiment from the Egg Carton pop-up. And Happy's going to go on one, and Easter's going to go on the other. Again, this is kind of like a centerpiece that I created. From the Assorted Tropical Leaves. So Sabrina came out with 3 different leaf collections. A fall leaf collection, a tropical, and a holiday. So from the tropical, yes, I used the tropical. I chose 2 of those leaves and die cut them. One from like an aqua blue and another one from a dark green, like you saw. And then from the Beach Essentials, I know, beach, I die cut the clouds and the long cattail bases, but I didn't cut the tops of the cattails. I just left those alone because I need to get a die set because I don't have it, which really surprised me, of the Spring Essentials with the sprigs. I've got to get that. But we can adapt. There's nothing wrong with using the beach leaves. Absolutely not. So again, look at what you have and how else can you use it. That's the beauty of dies, on how you can adapt it. All the pieces that I'm doing here, especially the chick, because of course I had to have the chick upside down in the egg. Yes. That part is being doubled up. The egg shell is being doubled up. And then all the other pieces are single. Again, to have that dimension, to have that strength when it comes to adding it to the bridge. I want it to be able to stand up. I don't want it to flop. All right. Putting together the last sentiment here. Again, cut the cloud about 3 times and then the sentiment itself once. So here's your mechanism for the pop-up. You want to die cut this twice for one pop-up. And I'm just folding on those score lines that are built in, and I'm adding some double-sided tape. Whenever I do these pop-ups or pieces that are going to withstand the test of time, I use a combination of tape and glue. The glue gives me the ability to wiggle just a little bit more, and the tape and the glue add the strength. Again, this mechanism is going to be folded, it's going to be bent, it's going to be flat, it's going to pop. And then I just work the mechanism back and forth. Along the bottom, your panels are going to go right onto the area at which the panel goes. When it comes to the top, you want to make sure that you fold down 3 of the panels, as I'm doing here, and then put those panels in place. So one is going to be facing you, where the other ones, if they're up, are going to be to the inside. I've made this mistake many times of not doing it that way. I'm just saying. And make sure if you've got your pattern paper and it's directional, they're going in the direction that they should. We're going to do this all over again to make the second one. So again, we're adding our double tape to the tabs. We're going to remove the release paper. We're going to add our glue. And we're just going to lay this on top of each other. So just lining these 2 pieces up and then working that mechanism. I brought in an eraser because obviously I had some ink or something on my thing and it got on there. Just erasing it away. And then adding the panels. So again, making sure the panels are going the right way along the bottom because of the design. And then popping this up, folding 3 down, and then just making sure that the pattern is going the way that it should. So one's going to come to the inside, the other 3 are going to go to the outside, and I'm turning this piece to make sure that I have the carrots facing the right way. All right, so our pop-ups are set. They're cute. Absolutely adorable. Going to add the sentiment. So to one, we're adding happy, and to the other, adding Easter, and we're putting them onto an angle. Now we're going to add the bridges. I forget the number of bridges because I don't have the piece in front of me. I believe I die cut 3 for each, but I'm not sure if I used 3 for each. I'm not sure if I used 2 or 3, but we're going to find out in a second together. You know, it's just something fun. Again, adding double-sided tape to each of the bridge tabs. And then we're going to add our glue, and we're going to get these set into place. Again, work your score lines before you put these in. They will not fight you as much when it comes to putting these together. And again, I just do a finger fold because once they're in the mechanism, the pop-up, they're going to flatten out as I move it back and forth. I'm going to first, before we put this all together, I'm going to fussy cut out the tulips and the daffodils. Now, you all know I am not a fussy cutter. I'm not a fan of it. But these were very easy to fussy cut. And for me to say that, woohoo, yeah. But yeah, I'm just going along the lines here. I am leaving a slight white border going around. And you can see every once in a while I'm cutting away the cardstock. So once you get to a certain point when you find that you cannot move your paper as easily, because the paper should be moving when you fussy cut, not the scissors. Your scissors should really stay in the same area. It's the paper that you're moving as you're closing the scissors. Now for me, when I fussy cut, I find it's easier to fussy cut with smaller, very fine detailed scissors. Some people can use the Mahumba of scissors and the 9-inch long blades. Whatever you are comfortable with, please use it. Again, it's your comfort. It's what you find is best. And you can see I'm just cutting out these pieces coming off of the edge, and that paper is just wiggling all over the place. It is very rare that my scissors are moving and turning. For me, that just gets me the best cut and look. And then once we have that done, we are going to start putting this all together. Now, you could get a craft knife and cut out the other sections as well. I was fine with it being there. So now let's get our bridges together. First bridge going to go in, going to take that edge right up to the back. Again, we're closing both ways. We're going to take the next one, again, removing the release paper, adding a little bit of liquid adhesive, and we're going to put that towards the center. Forgot to add my liquid glue on that, but that's okay. It's a strong tape. And again, I'm not sure if I come back in with the third one. I don't know. I could have sworn I did put the third one in. But, you know, again, we're going to find out together. So every time I put a bridge, you can see I'm closing it both ways. Because what that's going to do is, and see, here comes the third one. So I'm putting that one right in the center. And you can see by closing it and opening it, I'm not even worried about if it's truly stuck to the side yet. By closing it both ways, that's where I'm pinching it so that the glue can do its final adherence to the sides. Now we just have fun. We're just going to have some fun putting our pieces in. Now again, in my mind, these are kind of like a centerpiece. It's going to kind of be like a bookend type look here. So I'm making sure certain things are in certain areas. So for each one, for this one, the daffodils are to the right. In the other one, the tulips are going to be to the left. The chick on this one is to the left. So for the other one, the chick is going to be to the right. Now, I could have done a different chick, by all means, yes. But I fell in love with the one upside down. Because that's what goes on my table. It's just, I must find, like, Christmas cards. My favorite Christmas cards are the snarky Christmas cards. Because they make me laugh and smile the hardest. Don't get me wrong, the vintage ones are my favorite too. But again, it's just something that I think is great. You can see the cluster that I'm putting together of the tropical leaves for the background to the floral image. Can you tell? No. You can see that cloud is overhanging, so that when this is closed, that cloud is going to go against the backdrop. That was something that I was looking at as well. So to make sure when this piece closed and when I store it, it's all going to go flat and it's going to have something to look at. Now, in this case here, the cloud is going the opposite way. So we got to fold it the opposite way. So that mechanism, when I close it, that cloud is bent forward just a little bit so that it'll come to the front. And you'll see that as I keep closing this and layering things up. Again, creating that next cluster with our tropical leaves. So if that's the die set that you have, it is perfect for this. Again, change those colors. Have fun with those colors. I'm going to put that on that back bridge. So the chick went to the front. So you can see we're not going to close it that way. We're going to close it the other way. So now I'm just slowing down the video so that you can see what these look like. We have beautiful greens in the back, beautiful flowers when it comes to that. I think these pop-ups are absolutely adorable and will be perfect on my mantle. You can see they do close up. There is slight overhang, but I do know I'm not putting these in an envelope. You can, when it comes to an envelope, you can get an envelope that's just a little bit bigger so that you don't have to trim those. But again, I knew these were going to sit on a table. And I just really love them. I think they are absolutely adorable and fitting. So I hope you had fun in this video, watching me put together another pop-up, but having fun at the same time. Again, all the products that I used will be listed down below. Make sure you check out her new collection. It is absolutely adorable. And make sure you check out Sabrina's channel as well, where she shows the correct way and the proper way to put her pop-ups together. Me, I'm a rebel. I'm going to go against the grain and try new things. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. And by all means, make sure you ring that bell. Hopefully YouTube will let you know. But most of all, enjoy the process. Have fun with it. Try something different. Take your die and do something different with it and see what happens. Guys, it's just paper. But always know you're creating art. Have that confidence. Get that confidence in you because it is true. But most of all, always, guys, be creative in everything that you do every day. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then.